right, my friends. Eric Andres, your Guitar Sage here for January the 14th, live broadcast today. We're talking about playing with a band, and that particular band that I just played for you is called Gabriel the Bull. This is a new project that I'm working with that I'm really excited about because I finally get to use this guitar for a project. One of my favorite guitars, but all the projects that I've ever played in couldn't use that guitar, but this one fits perfectly for that. So I'm very excited about that. So if you like that music, check out there's a link, maybe the third link below. I'm not sure, it's Spotify. We just dropped this very first song on Spotify. So check that out. Let us know what you think, okay? More on that later. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about playing with a band. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. And I'm going to pull you guys up here in just one moment here so I can see your beautiful comments. But we're going to talk about things like auditions, collaborating, preparing to be in a band, preparing for gigs, playing live, equipment, personalities, dealing with personalities, writing, pay, like how does pay work, who's the leader of the band if there is a leader, how to interpret music, like whether that's by ear, charts, or that sort of thing. Gigs, like just how that works. I wrote copyrights, but I know what I meant about that as far as writing with the band. So we're going to talk about all that stuff, lots of fun stuff today. So glad that you guys are with us. And so here we go. So you know me, I tell you guys all the time, it's all about the song. It's all about playing the music. In Nashville, we have an expression that goes, it all starts with a song. Because without a good song, you don't have jack squat. I don't care if you're the best guitar player in the world. If you don't have a good song, I ain't listening, and most people aren't going to listen either. We want melody. We want, charisma. We want construction. We need a good song. And so playing with a band is that. It's you're playing songs as opposed to just sitting there noodling exercises. Nothing wrong with that. I have an entire course built upon exercises. But they're meant to be used to get you to the next place so that you can get on stage and play music, because I don't know about you, but even if you are going to get on stage, I don't want you playing exercises. I want you playing some songs for me, right? Ultimately, music is art. It's an expression. Why do we express? Because we're getting it out. We're expressing. We're getting it outside of us. So we want, that natural desire is to express emotion, is to get it out. Why get it out? Why not just keep it inside? Because we want others to know what it is that we're feeling, right? That's why we write songs. That's why we write melodies. So that's what we're talking about here, is we're talking about sharing music with other people. Whether that's just you sitting with a looper pedal playing live, or whether that's you playing with a band, right? That's the next step up. Playing with a looper, doing, a solo show or something like that is great. And that's similar, not quite like playing with a band. We'll talk about we might be able to talk about that as well. So for the next hour, I'll be talking with you and getting to your questions, okay? Won't be getting to the questions right yet, so if you want to, maybe hold off on the questions for just a moment, okay? Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about some basic bits here. And I'm just going to lightly touch these because, heck, I just named like 12 things, and I don't even know if I would have a chance to do that. So I'm going to lightly talk about some of this stuff and then get to your questions so that we can really dig in, okay? So a lot of people think that playing with a band or playing with other musicians is very daunting. Like, how would I ever find another musician? Like, that's hard to do. Friends, there's Craigslist. There are things like, Musicians Junction, or back in the day, Taxi. I don't know if those are around anymore, but some sort of classified thing. Groups, right, that you can find online, meetup groups or other social groups where you would find them online. Craigslist is a great place. I've met many a musician and band on Craigslist, okay? But nonetheless, they're not going to come knocking on your door. I don't care how good of a guitar player you are. They're not going to probably knock on your door. You need to be active and go out and find people, even if it's just one other person. I encourage you to find one other person and then build a band. That's a great way to do it if you're unsure about it. The quicker way is to be a really good player who needs a really good guitar player, right? And then to fill that need, especially if they're doing what it is that you want to do. Gabriel the Bull, that band, number one, is arguably my best friend, the guy who is the singer for that band and the main brains of that idea. And so that's perfect for me because I'm busy teaching you guys and building courses and doing all the rest. So me playing, writing a bunch of songs, getting all the guys together, and all the rest, all the stuff that I'm going to talk to you about today, it's not in my wheelhouse at the moment. I should say it's in my wheelhouse to do. I've done it a million times, but it's not where I'm at right now. So me joining up with this band who, number one, has this exact sound that I want to do, or at least I dig that sound. There's a million different sounds that I want to do. But love the project, love the lyrical content of what it stands for, of what it says. Super good lyrics. Love the music. It's quasi-cowboy, as you could hear, quasi-cowboy rock. Lots of need for a big fat 6120, nice big reverbs and delays, and it's not, heavy metal rock type of thing, which I'm used to doing that. It's more laid back, very focused on the song type of thing, okay? And I could just join that, and it was going. All the other guys were in the band already, and also good friends of mine. We needed a place to practice. That's the where. I didn't mention that, but where you need a place to practice. It's usually at the drummer's house because the drummer has to haul all his crap everywhere, and he usually has a place where the drums are. So oftentimes that's what I've found, is that you go where the drums are. In this case here, the drums are right behind this wall, and we practice right here in my studio. So still not the best place to do it because we have production stuff everywhere. It's not set up for a band, right? So we have to tear up, set up, tear down, and all the rest. If you can be at a place where everything's set up already and you just step in and go, it makes it so much easier. But more on that. Okay, so let's talk. So auditioning for a band. Auditioning for a band is when basically you're being tested. How good can you be? Are you the guy for this band type of thing? Sometimes people will just call you, hey, I've seen you play for this. You're in the band if you'd like to be. It's open, and then somebody would just join the band. Most of the times it's not like that. I've been in auditions before, kind of low-level auditions, and I've been in high-level auditions where you're dealing with a major artist. For me, auditions are always nerve-wracking because you really want this gig, and you may or may not get it, right? Depending on if you're playing well, if you know the songs, if you're nervous and you're, not playing well because you're nervous. I've done that before. I've also I've also gotten the audition. I've gotten the position in places where I was extremely nervous and thought that I played like crap, and I've gotten the audition. So it happens. Auditions can be nerve-wracking. Here's my suggestion to you on auditions. Do auditions even if you're not going to take the gig, to get used to doing auditions, okay? So what I mean by that is this. If you know you're not going to get an audition, you're going to play for this huge band. Maybe you get the gig, go for it. But I say go do the audition so that you can practice what you will do for the band that you will get. If you never practice auditions and then you're going, Red Hot Chili Peppers are out Frusciante, and you could fill that position, you're like, oh my God, this is the best gig ever. I want to do this. And you're like, but I've never done an audition before and I'm so freaking scared. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it have been better if you had auditioned for all those bands that you weren't going to join? It would be a really good thing. So get used to doing auditions. If you're serious about being a player in a band, it helps. It's just like practice with anything else, okay? Collaborating, writing. We'll put those two things together. Sometimes bands write together. Like, for instance, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they write together. The Beatles, they wrote together. There was usually a chief songwriter, though. And I should say, let me take the Beatles back, actually, because even though they collaborated as a band, they typically had those songs written, at least the two guys did, before they came to the rest of the band, and then the band helped out. Some bands will look at it like, hey, everything that we write as a band, and copyrights, let's talk about copyrights, are shared amongst everybody. So everybody owns the song, if you will. The song is the lyrics and the melody. I don't care what chords you're putting in a song, it's not part of the writing process, unless someone's like, hey, let's just all write a song together. You can argue it till the cows come home. I'm just saying the law, what the law says. And I don't necessarily think the law is right. It's just that's what the law is. They say the only thing that matters is the lyrics and the melody to the song. The chords don't matter, okay? Although the chords are part of the song, they just don't matter. So, for instance, you could take a song, the most famous song in the world, all the famous songs, you could take their chord progressions and write songs over them all day long. You are not going to get in trouble for copyright, or at least by the letter of the law, you should not, okay? So copyrights, you got to figure that out. In the case of Gabriel the Bull, my buddy Gabe writes so far 100% of the material. And that may change going forward. I don't know. Right now, I love it. He's great, and I don't have the time to write, so I love the tunes. So it's a perfect scenario. But even if he wanted to write, I would probably jump in there and start writing with him, because I like writing too. Okay, so writing, collaborating. Let's talk a little bit about playing live. Okay. Let me do this in a little bit of order here, though, because I just have scattered the things that I wanted to talk about. Personalities. You might have heard the expression before. Well, when you're in a band, it's like marrying four guys. Number one, I'm not into marrying guys. If that's you, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But that's not me. But what I mean by that is you're really close to these guys, especially if you're playing gigs a lot, especially if you're on the road and you're in a van, dear God, or a bus with these guys, okay? I've been in, I don't know how many bands now over my life, dozens, right? And in those bands, usually you get along really well. There's almost, I won't say that. There have been bands that I've been in where not everybody got along, you know? Sometimes it was that I didn't like the singer because I thought he was egotistical and he didn't practice. And how can you be that way if you're not even practicing and you suck, you know? Or the drummer I've been in bands where somebody wasn't performing well and they weren't doing their job. They weren't cutting the mustard. In those cases, in my opinion, it's a band. Some people, they get their feelings hurt if they get kicked out of something, right? I get it. There's emotions involved there. Or they keep a player because they are friends and, well, we've been playing for 20 years together. I can't get rid of him. And it's like, yeah, but he is a drummer and he doesn't play in time. That's a problem. I've been in bands like that, so much so where I said, listen, yeah, Logan, I'll read the chat, but not right now. I'm going to tell you a little bit of stuff, and then I will read the chat, friend. So that happens, right? And in those cases, if you want a good band, you can't take a band like Red Hot Chili Peppers or the Beatles or whatever and have dead weight. You can't have a guy not doing what he needs to do if you want everybody else to go to the place that they want to go. So what do professional bands do? They kick people's asses out of bands real quick. You're not cutting the mustard. Get the heck out of here. No time for it. There's a plethora of amazing musicians, especially as you become a better band. People want to join you, and you're always going to have great musicians. In the beginning, maybe not so much. If the songs aren't good, it's going to be hard to recruit some great players, right? So as far as personalities and what have you, yes, you're going to run into certain personalities. You just, like life, you just got to work around those personalities, okay? I've been in bands where I felt the whole band wasn't practicing, or one guy in the band was practicing as much as I was, and the other guys weren't, and they don't see it that way. So what do? You leave the band. It's either that or you're going to sit here and work with three other guys trying to get them to go home and practice so that when you get at the rehearsal space, you actually sound good, okay? You have rehearsal space, which is when the band comes together, but that's not where you practice your instrument. You should be practicing your instrument like mad at home and then rehearse, okay? Knowing the songs going in, talking about being prepared. How could you be prepared for an audition or a gig playing with a band? Well, you could have charts. You could assemble charts, learn about charts like I teach inside my programs. So what I did when I joined this band, the first thing I did is I listened down to all the tunes. I charted everything using the Nashville number system. I do this. I have a program for it. It's on my computer, but it's on it's on my computer. And then I create these charts for everybody in the band, and then I send them out to the band. Okay. That gets everybody prepared. They can look at a sheet of paper, and we can go and play right away. Eventually, we won't need that chart anymore, but it's a good thing in the beginning, right? So being prepared by knowing the songs. The very first thing I do when I'm in a band is I just listen to the song. I listen to the songs. The band before this, we had somewhere around 55, 60 songs in our repertoire. So what did I do? I just listened down. I said, give me the list of songs. They gave me the list of songs. I just listened to them over and over and over again. Most of them I knew, at least I knew them in my head. Maybe a third of them I knew some of the riffs out of and stuff like that. And the rest of it I had to learn, you know. But listening to it, listening for the hits and the changes and stuff like that is very helpful because you're driving around in your car a lot or maybe don't have the instrument in your hand. It gets you to where you can understand the songs so that when you go to play them, you know the construction of the song, at least audibly, right? So preparing, you could do that. Playing live, just remember you get the jitters when you play live. Most people do. It's because you want to perform well, and now you got a bunch of people looking at you, and every mistake is real, right? It's okay. You can break a string, you can mess a chord up, you can mess notes up. I've done, I don't think I've ever broken a string, but it happens to the best of them. So I've messed up before on stage. Everyone has. It happens. What do? You keep going, and chances are the audience isn't even going to get it. Okay. I've played in a band where it was more than just a little mess up. I've played where there was a train wreck in the worst place ever. I've told the story before, but at the Bluebird Cafe, quite arguably, or not arguably, but probably the #1 place in the world for a songwriter to have their song heard. It's a quasi-songwriting band scenario, very, very, very intimate place. You see it on the show Nashville. They used to show it all the time. And I was playing with a bunch of heavy hitters. I was with my wife, who's a amazing songwriter, and Dennis McCotsky, who wrote a slew of hits, including Maniac from Flashdance and a bunch of Faith Hill and a bunch of very famous tunes. And anyhow, these were all like professional Nashville players and songwriters. I'm sitting here playing this song. I was playing with the guys who wrote the song, and one of them either was inebriated or something. I don't know what was the problem, but every chord they hit was incorrect. And it wasn't near the end of the song. It was like starting from the chorus. And every chorus was just slaughtered. So I've been in those situations before where you just want to crawl inside the guitar hole of your guitar. Thank you, Lee. Thanks so much for the donation, buddy. So it happens. And guess what? I'm still alive, and I've still done gigs there since then. It is what it is. It's just you keep going, okay? It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything. I was prepared. But I've made mistakes too, you know, so you just keep going. All right, as far as, okay, let's keep going. I said equipment. You got to have some sort of equipment. Obviously, your personal gear is typically all that you need. If you're going to a club, it has a PA, so they're going to have microphones and that sort of thing. But you definitely want to ask. My daughter is gigging now, and she's playing smaller clubs, so you really need to ask ahead of time. Do you have a stand? Do you have a microphone? Nope, we don't have microphones. You got to bring your own microphone. Oh, wow, that's a big deal. The singer shows up with no microphone. Now you got no singer that night. Okay, so not much we can get into there. That's a per instance thing, right? Get to your questions in just a minute. As far as pay, usually you just break everything up amongst everybody in the band. That's typically the way you do it, unless you got one guy who's like, no, I'm the singer and I get more. Then you got problems. I don't care who the singer is. It's a band, okay? Leader, you usually have a leader. In my band, I'm the leader of the 4 guys that we're doing, even though I'm not the guy who's writing the songs and the creative part of it. That's Gabe. But he says, Eric, you're my band leader. And so automatically I was doing charts before then, so I just kind of assumed that role, but not really as with the name or whatever. But usually there is someone who will kind of lead the sessions and say, okay, guys, that didn't sound so hot. Let's do the chorus over and over and over again until we feel good about it. All right, everybody down with that? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going. Usually there's somebody who will do that, and it's best if it's the personality of the person who's good at leading. I'm good at leading, I'm good at following if there's a great leader, and I am not the kind of person that will take that role and be like, I'm the leader here, everyone. I just don't like that attitude. Unless people need a leader, then I will step forward if I feel like I can do the job and I'm the leader. In the case of leading a band, I'm good with that. Okay, gigs. Let's talk about gigs. And that'll be the last thing, and then I'll get to your question. So as far as gigs, there's not a lot of gigs happening right now. But normally, right, you have, depending on your success, that determines the size club that you're going to play. So the Chili Peppers are going to play arenas and that sort of thing, right? Whereas your little local band is not going to play arenas because you can't fill the arena up. So even if they gave you the arena, you're not going to fill it up because no one knows who your band is, right? Maybe some do, but not enough to fill an arena. So depending on your level of who it is that you are as a band and your notoriety is going to determine where you play, okay? Nashville, there's a lot of music around here. It makes me think about this story. The gentleman who wrote Red Light, the song Red Light, who wrote it with my wife, Jonathan, his name is Singleton. Jonathan Singleton wrote the song Red Light with my wife, and Brad Tersey, also from Old Dominion. Those guys are bands and all the rest. Songwriters, all the rest. Jonathan Singleton, massive songwriter here in Nashville, buddy of mine, real close to my wife. They write all the time, was at a bar, and he was sitting there watching people play, and Nashville has some great acts. Well, this guy steps on stage, starts playing, this big dude, overweight, burly dude, and this guy goes up on stage, and all of a sudden, just a crowd of people start coming in, and you're just like, what is going on, man? Never heard of this guy in his life. And hopefully by the end of this message, I'll remember the guy's name because he's extremely famous, and I should know him. And I believe he follows my YouTube channel, and I should know him. Mike, you help me out here in a minute here. Don't give it away yet, but I think you know who I'm talking about, but I forget his name all the time because I don't listen to country music, but he's a great singer. Anyhow, he's watching this gig, and all these people start filing in this tiny little club here in Nashville. It was in Losers, which is just in Nashville. Dude starts playing, and he's like, whoa, this guy is good. All these people are just cheering this guy on, just going nuts for him. And Jonathan goes up to this guy and offers him a record deal. And what was his name again?
Luke Combs.
Luke Combs, thank you. It's Luke Combs. Chris Stapleton is another guy that my wife writes with a lot, or used to write with a lot, and then he blew up. That's what happens. It is Luke Combs, and obviously, if he wasn't playing those small gigs, he wouldn't be ginormous Luke Combs playing arenas now. Luke Combs is huge now, right? Supposed to be a real sweet guy. And anyhow, so play the small gigs. Don't have this attitude of, I shouldn't be playing this small gig, I'm better than that. Because guess what? You're not. Sorry, that's the reality. The reason that you're playing this small gig is because you're not good enough yet. Bottom line. Luke Combs was good enough to be playing something bigger, or actually he wasn't until the day he was signed, and he could have just not been signed that day. So what would Luke do? He'd keep playing all those little clubs because he loved playing music, and those people would keep packing those clubs in, and then if it got to there, he would go, I'm going to need a slightly bigger place because more people are coming. Then he would fill out another club. So you can do it organically, grassroots like that. No one's signing you. You just keep filling clubs up. Now you know that you are worthy of that. But you can't, it's just because you think you're worthy in here of playing in the arena doesn't mean anything, okay? Because this has to get out to the rest of the world. If the rest of the world thinks that, like a Chris Stapleton or a Luke Combs, then they do come and see you, okay? So keep playing those small gigs. Be encouraged about that, okay? All right, that was a little bit longer than I wanted to, and I probably still just barely brushed the surface of playing in a band there. Let's get to your questions here, okay? If you would, please, all caps and a question mark. A couple things going on right while I'm waiting for the first question. Since I said to wait until I was done here, I won't go back and look. I'll wait for your questions now. All caps, question mark, okay? A couple things going on right now. Number one, the very first link below, I'm pretty sure is our Udemy link that will lead you to a course called The Phrase Trainer that we did with Robbie Calvo, where he is teaching you not only how to use loopers, but how to use them creatively and how to become a much better musician by using looper pedals. It's maybe a 3-hour course, so obviously he's teaching you more than just using the looper, but he goes through that as well, really teaching you how to become an amazing player. And I believe we've had over 100 folks get in this just over the last day or so here. Thank you, Em, for just dropping that in the link there. You can click on that, friends. It's 85% off today, okay? 85% off today. I think that sale goes away on Saturday. Pretty sure. Goes away on Saturday, okay? 85% off. Check that out. Link 2 should be, I think it's Gabriel the Bull on Spotify. One song. Listen to it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Share it with some friends. That's it. That's all we got right now, okay? Video's coming out soon. I'm not in it because I wasn't in the band yet, okay? Third link below should be YourGuitarSage.com/30. I'm going to be talking to you about, I might refer to that throughout, if there's something in there that I think would be important to you in regards to your question. But if you would like to take advantage of my 30 top lessons, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Take advantage of that, friends. I promise you, it has absolutely changed the guitar lives of over 500,000 people now. So pretty cool. All right. Okay. Thank you, Emmy, for posting that. Beautiful. Yeah. Listen to that later if you have the time and you'd like to. Okay. Okay. How much does it cost to be amazing? Well, you're probably amazing already, but if you're talking about playing guitar, lots of practice, lots of practice. Okay. Strip Miner is saying, Eric, when did you know you were good enough to even play in a band? It takes some cojones. I was like, some cojones, some cojones to get up there and put it out there. Okay. To put out your cojones out there, yes. Scott, the man is insane, 85% off. Get it before he changes his mind. I am insane, possibly, and it is 85% off, but I'm not going to change my mind. It's good till Saturday. But thank you, Scott. Okay, so here's the deal. All right, so how do you know when you're good enough to even play in a band? You got to understand that that is a mental game. If you step on stage, you're good enough to be on stage. I mean, just bottom line, if no one else is on stage, then you're good enough to be on stage. Get out there on that stage. I'm encouraging you to get out of your mind, okay? Get out of, the dialogue in your head that says, well, I don't know if I'm good enough. Have you ever seen a bad musician on stage? I have. I've been the bad musician on stage, okay? So it is what it is. It happens. You're not prepared, or you didn't know what to expect, or something goes wrong. I've had those problems before. It happens. But if you're playing an arena and you're not prepared and you have 20,000 people that you're playing in front of, then yes, you may not, then one might say, are you good enough? Because if people start throwing stuff at you and start booing you and stuff because you've got them there, 20,000 people, that's a problem. If you're playing for you're playing a little gig or something where it's 1 o'clock at night and people are drunk, get up there and don't worry about it. It's not so much a problem. You feel out the room, take a temp of the room, okay? So that's how you know. Also, you might like size up a room, go there and go, man, I really want to play this place. Watch the bands that are playing there. And if you can genuinely say, dude, I could crush these guys, I definitely can play better than these guys, then I would say go for it. If you're like, absolutely not, these guys are great and people are expecting this, I'm not that yet, not yet, then don't do it. I wouldn't, then it would be embarrassing, right? So it's good to take a temp of the room and to understand what it is you're trying to do. So, but just like you being at home going, I don't know if I'm good enough, you need some legs on that. Like, what are you talking about? Good enough for what? Playing in front of somebody else? What about playing in front of your significant other or 2 other people, or for a little church group, or worship music at church, or whatever? There's a million different things you could do. Get out there and get in front of people and play. Otherwise, you're always going to be questioning, am I good enough? When is it time? The time is now. Okay, typical chat question. I've been practicing exercise for 16 years. Now what do I do? Yeah, play some songs and get into your 17th year and start doing some other stuff. But don't practice exercises only. Play some songs, okay? I'm still in college. That's fine. I was in several bands in college, was in the studio like every night because the college that I went to is Belmont University, and they had like 3 studios. So like I could be in the studio whenever I wanted, was booking it all the time. We'd book it typically like from 1 to 6 in the morning or something like that, because you could almost always get in there. So the first band that I was in high school still. So the age doesn't matter. Do you have any tips on how to get a nice working environment in a band? Harry, you'll have to give me some more legs on that. I don't know what you mean. How to have tips on how to get a nice working environment. You have to get more specific with me on that. All right. Okay, Paul is saying, hey, Eric, I have your Pro membership. He's talking about the Unstoppable Guitar System Pro membership, and I love it. Yay. Thank you, Paul. I'm wondering if there are any lessons on how to play lead guitar specifically. Yes, there's tons of them, Paul. Lots and lots and lots of lessons on it. But it won't be under lead guitar. It's just going to be, well, watch the welcome video inside that course. You will see that there's a welcome video that shows you where some things are, but you're going to find that more in the advanced section. Obviously, you don't want to go straight to that if you haven't gone through the beginner section, but I'm teaching you phrasing, and I'm teaching you call and response, and I'm teaching you minimalistic blues, and I'm teaching you arpeggios and scales and all that stuff, okay? And friends, if you would like a taste of exactly what Paul's talking about, his excitement there for UGS, I have 2 ways that you can do that. I think it's the 3rd link below, YourGuitarSage.com/30 gives you the first 30 for free. If that's not enough for you and you're like, Eric, I want more, then do it. Then get in there, but go to YourGuitarSage.com/UGS, and I think we still have a $1 special there. And that $1 special gets you everything that's in the program for 30 days. Get out before the 30th day if you do not want your credit card charged again, because obviously we got to take $1 from you in order to get that going. And get out in 30 days if you don't want to have an insane amount of incredible lessons that are going to change your guitar life. I know you probably don't want that, but if you don't, then get out before 30 days. If you do, then stay in. Okay, check it out. YourGuitarSage.com/UGS. Okay, Andy says it all starts with open mics. That's what I did. You're 100% right, Andy. That's what I did too. I take that back. My first gigs in Nashville were open mic nights, because Nashville is a different situation, right? When you're playing back at home, I was a big fish in a small pond. So we'd play gigs and we'd get just loads of people. Just like any place we went, we were hundreds of people, like every time. And that was great, and that was fun. We played little parties and stuff. I think the the thumbnail for this particular one was the very first band I was in, called AWOL. And that was a house party that we did, just a small little impromptu, hey guys, let's do a gig tonight type of thing. It was my buddy's birthday. But open mics are a great way to start, because guess what? People don't expect a lot from you. So here are two things that will happen. You will get up on the stage and suck, and people are going to be fine with it. They're okay with it. They're not expecting anything more than that. Or you're going to get up there and rock people, and they're going to say, what are you doing here, man? Right? Just like Billy Joel's Piano Man, right? He says that. What are you doing here? Meaning, you're so good. What are you doing in this old bar type of thing, okay? So yeah, open mic nights are fantastic. And you see other people saying that same thing. Open mic nights are great, okay? You sign up, you get on stage, you do 3 songs maybe, so people aren't tortured if you're not doing well. It's a great place. Learning how to audition is a good thing to do, okay? RCA reviews, you're killing me, man. It's true. Please keep these coming because those are awesome. Typical YGS chat question, how can guitar with more feel? Thank you. It's beautiful. That's golden, and it should be a meme. We should be friends, RCA. You sound like my kind of humor. Any tips on how to tackle stage fright? Yeah, let me tell you what the 2 things that help me. Number 1, I'm not condoning doing this. It works for me. I do not drink. I don't like drinking. But I will drink a beer right before stage or do a shot. And I do not like drinking. I rarely ever do it. That being said, on an empty stomach, 1 beer or 1 shot helps me, not you, I'm not suggesting for you, it works for me. It helps keep me cool and make me go, what am I worried about? This is going to be fun. It gets me in that kind of mood instead of the, oh, wait a minute, I really need to perform this well. Which is not, if you think about it, if you're being creative and what have you, it's not really the way you want to be. You want to practice like that, but then when you go out to perform your thing, you don't want to be all up in your head. You want to be all emotion in your body and you're playing and you don't want to be all up in your head. Okay? So number 1, that works for me to kind of take the edge off. Most people will say after the first song, things get easier, right? They say, once that first chord hit, I was fine. People say that all the time, and that is true. It happens like that. But leading up to it, it's not like that. The other thing, here you go, stage fright. Why do you have stage fright? Let's analyze it. Because you think you're not going to do well. Why don't you think you're going to do well? Well, because maybe you know something. Maybe your subconscious knows something that your ego won't let through. Maybe you haven't practiced enough. Maybe you could have practiced more. But that's exactly what a dress rehearsal is for. You should be practicing your songs, making sure you know them well, so that when you go to dress rehearsal, you don't have to think. It's the pre-show, which allows you to be fully engaged in it without the what's the word I'm looking for? Without the loss or the possibility of messing up in front of lots of people. That's what it's for. It's just one more thing to do right before you play. You have a dress rehearsal, and most bands will do that. The night before they play, they will rehearse. All my bands have done this where we're like, okay, we got the set list ready. Are we ready to do this? Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Remember on this song, go straight into this song, and you rehearse all that stuff at dress rehearsal, right? But the songs you practice way before then. So how to tackle stage fright. The more you're prepared, the less fright you're going to have, because you can do this in your sleep. So my suggestion for you is practice, and then practice some more. And then when you get with the band, rehearse till you kill it, okay? Well, eventually when you're, Zeppelin and you're Rush or ZZ Top or whoever, you've practiced these songs a million times, you don't need to do it anymore. But in the beginning, you do have to do it, okay? Okay, if I purchase this product, will it show up in my library? On your page, I have your free classes. No, it will not. It's in a different place, my friend. Unless you are pro, if you're a pro member, then yes, you have it already. But if you are not a pro member, then it won't show up in my library. Follow the link. It's in a totally separate place. This is how I want to work with my artists, because I have my own section, right? I've got my own way for folks to come see me, but when I'm working with some of the artists that I'm working with, what I do is I see immense talent in them, okay? And I want them as well to have their own thing, and we work together. And so essentially that's what we're doing here, is we're working together on these things. So I'm putting them on our Udemy platform, so check that out, okay? How long do you typically play live? It can be anything from one song to the last band I was in, we had a 4-hour set. It was either a 3 or a 4-hour set. And then we'd break for half hour or an hour, and then we'd do another 3 or 4-hour set. That's how it worked. Oh, thanks so much for my monitor, Mike. Yeah, that's a good-looking guy. Dang. Joking. And humble, too. But yeah, it could be from one song to in the case of the last band that I was in, 60-something songs. And, 3 hours? It was 3 or 4 hours, and then we take a little break, and then we do it again. So you're talking a whole night, man. Maybe you get there at 6 o'clock and go home at 2 a.m. We would do stuff like that. So it is. Super chats here. Got some super chats? So I'm seeing stuff light up, but why am I not? Oh, I didn't do the breakout box. That's why. Let me do that. Oh, look at this, man. Okay, thank you so much. Metalhead Hippie, rock on, Eric. Great stuff. Peace. Thank you so much, Metalhead Hippie. And Chuck Pops coming in with $50. Dude, Pops, thank you so much, buddy. I need to thank you for talking me back off the edge in these crazy times. It's been a bit nutty. It sure is. What do you think of putting together a video of yourself playing as a resume to shop skills, talents to potential bands? Because Rona rules. Yes, indeed. That's a great thing. Number one, thank you for the donation, Chuck. Super, super cool. Pops is what we call them. That is a great idea. So in Nashville, I had a reel. And basically that reel is little snippets, little sound bites of the best part of songs that I wanted people to hear. So you put your best foot forward, right? In a resume, you're not like, hey, there was that time I stole a pen from the... You don't do that. You say, hey, I led 5 people on this team, and I did this, that, and the other thing. That's what a resume is. You put your best foot forward. So on this tape, on this reel, you put your best bits. If you've got a video reel, that's even better, because then they can see your stage performance, how you look on stage, et cetera, et cetera. Indeed, all very, very helpful. It'll save you time. It'll save them time, because if you're not the fit, they can call you and say, sorry, you're great, but no thanks. Not what we're looking for. Saves you time. Now you don't have to come down and audition. So much. What a time saver, right? Better. Or they might even say, don't worry about the audition. You're awesome, Pops. Come on down. You're in the band. So it's a great time to do that. Yes. Great idea. Okay. How long do I practice until I become good? Yep. Okay, how do I make my strumming hand and my chording hand work together? Practice. I just can't seem to make mine work together. Okay, here's the deal. Jeffrey, you are like everybody, including me, in that it's frustrating. What you're experiencing, Jeffrey, is your desire to be better right now when you're not. That's all it is. And let's define it. Let's call it what it is. You're wanting to be better than you are at the moment. Totally sufficient. Because I don't know of a musician who's not in that position. The difference is this. If you take somebody who's been playing for a long time, they know that this is a progression. And I know that even though I'm not playing today how I want to, there's never been a day that I have. I could always be better. You understand that, and you know that the goalpost is always moving. So don't put yourself in a place of like, well, this is never going to work because it's not happening right now, right? What you think is today may not be what is tomorrow. Timely. So just remember that, okay? What is today may not be the same thing tomorrow. So, and especially if you're practicing, it's going to make you a better player, okay? It's going to make you're practicing because you know it's going to make you a better player. So how do you make that hand and chord work together, the strumming in the right and left hand? You practice that, but practice it slow. If you're not in the course, if you're not in at least the first 30, start there, because I will teach you how to approach these things, okay? Especially you're talking about strumming. There's a strumming video that will absolutely revolutionize the way that you strum. Watch it. It's for free. Second link, third link below, YourGuitarSage.com/30. Watch that video. I've got exercises, PDFs in there for you. It will take care of you. I promise you, okay? Mike, thank you. UGS Pro is simply the best. Thank you, bud. Oh, yay. Beautiful. Lots of folks in the course. Just started the course. Good, good, good. Should I join a worship band when they already have a guitarist? Why don't you? Why don't you thicken up that sound? I mean, there are bands that have 3 guitar players in it, right? The Eagles. There's bands that, I mean, I've seen bands that have more than that, 4 or 5 guitar players. One guy could be playing in one position, one in another position. This guy's playing nylon, this guy's playing acoustic, this guy's playing electric. Yes, indeed, be aggressive. Get out there and say, I want to join the band. Or better yet, say, I'm joining the band. Okay, get out there. Yes, indeed, join the worship band. Okay. VCam help. A 77 blind vet with poor memory. I can help. I think I can help. Art, if you're a veteran, you could get in my program, and I will help you. Art, go to YourGuitarSage.com/veterans. If you are a U.S. veteran, I will give you everything that I have for free. I'll give you the entire course for free. The same course that costs $685 today, I will give you for free. And then you can learn guitar. Okay, and I have several blind folks that are in there already. So I don't think you'll have a problem, because I know you guys have like programs sometimes that can work around things, right? Like all for all. So check that out. It's there for you, my friend. And thank you for your service. Thank you so much, Art. I really appreciate you, buddy. Okay. Huh. Okay. First, sorry, I forgot. It was kind of a German saying. I tried, which I'm German as well, but I don't know the language, unfortunately. I tried to ask how to make working in a band more fluid and enjoyable for everyone. I don't want to stress my band, but we need to get stuff done. Okay, now that little part helped me know where you're at. Sometimes, this is a psychology thing, right? Sometimes people are harder to move than it's worth. You will have to be the judge of that. But for instance, in the last band that I was in, love those guys. Still to this day, I love them. But I just said, guys, I got too much going on right now. And it was more with the band. So I said, hey, man, it's a time issue. And it was a time issue. If it was Radiohead or Muse or some insane, incredible band, I would have made the time for it. But for what we were doing, I didn't have the time for that nonsense. So I didn't lie. I didn't have the time for that. I had more important things to do. And so had they practiced more, and when we went to gigs, everything rocked. I mean, we would kill one song, and then the next song, it would just fall apart. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, this is making me mad. So at a certain point, you have to cut people loose. That's your decision to do that. I know that's not very popular right now. Oh my God, that's terrible. Cut someone loose. Yeah, we're not killing them. We're saying you suck as a player. We want someone who's good. Okay, is that so bad? It's terrible. It's not if you want a good band. So what I would say is either get new people that are better than you, that are going to lift you up, or give them an ultimatum. Say, guys, I'm not doing this for nothing. I want to have fun. I want to make money. I want to play gigs. And this is what it's going to take to play those gigs. And I would tell my guys all that all the time. It's like, we can play these dive bars all the time. We could do this for the rest of our lives. But is that what you want to do? Like, wouldn't you want to play? And we were a cover band. So it wasn't like we were going to make it. Nor did I really have the desire to make it. I don't have that desire to do that anymore. And but what we did do is, and I know we just had another super chat come in. I need to get to that. But what we did do is we played a lot of those crappy gigs because we just never got out of that zone, you know? Never got out of that zone. So let me do something really quickly so I can see these super chats as they come in. Hold on here. Pop out chat. That's what I want. Because those used to go to the top of the screen where I could see it. And there they are. Yay. Tom Bagby, thank you so much, brother. So kind of you. And Live Alive 42, I need to thank you for helping me hang on. The 30-day challenge last April turned me around, and I'm so grateful. Oh, thank you, Alive. So grateful for you. And I've gotten that a few times from some folks. So sweet. Thank you for letting me know that. That means a lot to me. That was fun, those 30 days. It really was really a lot of fun. Okay. Trying to get to all these, and you guys have so many questions. So many, which it's fine. Keep them coming. Yes, Scott is right here. One of the greatest psychological fears of most human beings is making a presentation of any kind before an audience of their peers. Indeed, it is true. But I've never seen someone die from it. I've never seen someone get wounded, severely wounded, or anything from that. So you're going to be okay. The mind is a powerful thing in either direction that you take it, whether it's fear, whether it's people trying to make you feel fearful, or whether it's you knowing that you're empowered, okay? No one's ever gotten good by accident. Thank you. Do you need to be a singer to be a good guitar player? No, you don't. To be a good solo guitar player? No, you do not. You just need to be a good player. There's plenty that are not good singers that are great guitar players, or vice versa. Yep. Fred, hey Eric, I had some financial difficulties with my subscription, and I want and need to fix the problem. You know, Fred, I'd need more detail than that. Email support@YourGuitarSage.com if you got charged twice, or if you need to switch to a lifetime membership or a monthly membership, or whatever you need to do. Let support know. We'll need more details, obviously. Okay. Any tips for remembering set lists for different bands or hired gun situation? I like to do things electronically because I can print things up and what have you, change them, edit them, and what have you. Yes, I do that all the time. So that's how I do it. I don't remember the set list as much as I do write it down, tape it on the floor, nice and big where everybody can see it, and give it to all the rest of the band members so we know what songs we're doing. That's what 99% of folks do. They write it down, print it up, something, and then it goes on the floor. Okay, it's Udemy, U-D-E-M-Y, and we did post the link. It's the first link below, right? First link below is what I'm talking about. That's Robbie Calvo's course on using that looper pedal, phrasing and looping, okay? Check it out. It's absolutely an amazing course, okay? Yeah, again and again. Keep practicing, indeed. I'm planning to buy an electric guitar. I'm a beginner. Any tips for what guitar I should buy? Karma, watch the 2 videos that are in the very front of the course that I'm giving you for free today. Third link below, YourGuitarSage.com/30. I tell you exactly how to buy an electric guitar, how to think about it, even though you don't know all the bits and pieces about it. I tell you how to navigate that, okay? So check that out. Also, you could go to kit.co/YourGuitarSage. Kit, K-I-T.co, C-O, / my name, my moniker, YourGuitarSage. And I have some guitars there that you may want to purchase. I suggest them, depending on the level of money that you have. How do you keep from getting bored, frustrated from practicing the same things? I practice different things. So if you're practicing the same thing all the time, if you keep practicing the same thing, then that's insanity. So practice something different. Do something different. Watch some different videos. Get a course. Get Robbie's course today. That'll get you into doing some new things. Is there a difference in going to a guitar teacher or if I follow your courses on Udemy? Well, yes, there is. Like, should I go to a teacher too besides watching your courses? If you can afford, so I have a video on this, if you can afford a great one-on-one teacher because you have access to asking questions and going straight to your target very quickly as opposed to going through a course which may take longer, if you have the money for that and if it's a great teacher, two very big ifs. The second one's even bigger because you know how much money you have. But knowing a good teacher, you may be 6 months before you find out that your teacher's not good. And they bail out on you because they're frustrated because you're not getting something quick enough. That's a terrible teacher. A good teacher's not going to do that. Okay, they're going to guide you. They're going to get you to the place that you need to get to. Okay, that's okay. Now, so I suggest if you can do both, do both. The deal about learning things online is if you were to take a personal lesson from me, it's going to cost $300, whereas that would be for like an hour. And if you took lessons in my course, well, you can get 1,000 lessons for way less than $1 per lesson. So, $300,000 for lessons or the price of the big course. You know what I'm saying? So learning online is really cool in that way, in that it's a lot more affordable because people can play the video over again instead of you having to teach it individually to each person over and over and over and over and over again. When I went online in 2006 on YouTube, that was my intention. I was teaching 60, 70 lessons a week. That's a lot of lessons, half-hour lessons, right? Not hour lessons, half-hour lessons. Sometimes they were hour lessons, that counted as a 2, but I was teaching that many lessons per week, and I got, it was beautiful. I loved teaching one-on-one, very exciting thing to do, but I knew I couldn't reach as many people as I wanted to, and that's why I started doing things online, because now I've literally, I have over 500,000 students who are in my courses, and forget about folks who I've reached online. You multiply that times all the other players out there, all the other teachers, it's like we can reach so many folks as opposed to one person at a time, which is cool. I like that. I like doing that, but that's why my price is high, because I don't really want to do that because it's a waste of time when I've created a course already that does all those things. Does that make sense? Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. Steven, thank you so much for the donation, brother. So kind. Wow, you guys are crushing this on donations today. Wow, thank you. So I didn't know you wanted to hear about playing in a band so much. So sweet. All right. Let's keep going. Biggest tip for a beginner who wants to play for a band is to practice standing up right from the get-go, as it's different playing seated. Indeed, a lot of people, they're playing like this. Okay, I know the songs, they're listening to the tape, and then they go to play with the band, and now they're standing up, and everything seems foreign to them. This is what a dress rehearsal's for, folks. But do it before then. Whatever the way you practice, that's how you're going to be in real time. That's how you're going to be in the real world. You have to practice what it is that you're going to do. Okay? If you're practicing sitting down, you're going to be good at sitting down playing. You're not going to be good at standing up playing. Really important. Art submitted his application yesterday for veterans. Great, Art. Hang in there. We'll get you set up, my friend. Thank you so much. Glad you did that. Yeah. Oh, so Alex is saying, do you have a special pricing for people outside the U.S.? I'm from Mexico. Yes. Yes, I do, Alex. And here's the deal. So specifically, last year, we created a model of the Unstoppable Guitar System because we want to reach folks in Mexico. We want to reach folks in India where the money exchange is different, right? It's like money is different from one country to another. It just is. So what we said is, can we create a product to do that? And I said, I would like to do that. But if we open that up to all these other countries who may not be able to afford it, I may not be able to answer all the questions because the amount of questions I have to answer every day is massive anyhow. So I said, well, let's create a program where people would get hundreds and hundreds of videos, and then we would continue to give them videos, but to where I don't have to answer the questions all the time. And so we have a model like that. It's $5 a month, Alex. $5 a month. So check that out. If you go, anybody who's interested in that, go to YourGuitarSage.com/UGS. There's 3 ways that you can get into my program. The free way, okay, which is YourGuitarSage.com/30, gives you the first 30-ish lessons for free. I suggest that to everybody because it's free. Why not? I'll give you 100% of your money back if you don't like it. The next way is to do Classic, which is what I'm talking about there. It's $5 a month. You can't ask me questions in it, and I'm not doing live. I'm doing live like this, so you could get your questions answered there. But if you're in the Pro, I go live 3 times a month 3 times a month. And then I do all these extra lives, and you have email access to me, okay? So that's the other way you can do it. There's 3 ways that you can get in on that. And that's $19 a month if you want to do that. Or you can just buy either one of them, or you can buy one of them outright, not the other. Okay. Thank you, Scott. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let that sink in. Think about that one a lot. It's true about everything, right? You go up, you're going to climb up Kilimanjaro, or you're going to climb Everest or something like that. There is a first step, right? Take that first step. So do that. Mary Ford used to tape the set songs on the back of her SG. Yeah, sure. It's cool. Any tips on learning set lists when tight on time? Listen to the songs, listen to song in order. Any tips on learning a set list when tight on time? Listen to the songs all the time. All the time, be listening to them. Practice as much as you can. I mean, there's no, I'm not Father Time, so I can't bend the space-time continuum. So you have the time that you have. Use it wisely. When you're in a band, don't think that you're going to get it on the last day. Get it today, and then sharpen it until the day of the gig, okay? Thank you so much for the donation there, Climber. Hey, Climber 7565. Eric, thank you for all you do, and us veterans. UGS is amazing. Love it, love it. Yay, thank you so much, Climber, and it's good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. Okay, then get chords, first solo, etc. You know, what I like to do, it's a great question. When I'm listening, so this is what I do. Top down, everything top down, right? If you wanted to learn about quantum computing, how would you do that? Well, you would watch a short video on it before you would get a big, thick book on quantum computing. You would watch a small video on it first, right? So what I like to do is I like to listen to the songs that are in the set list and go, I like that song. I don't like that song. Get the tempo, I'm tapping. Oh, that's so cool when they do this and they go to that. And so I'm just getting used to the songs, liking the songs, right? If I took your favorite song and had you learn that as opposed to some song that you've never heard before, given that they're the same technique needed, you would learn the one that you know way quicker than you would learn the one that you didn't know, because you know audibly what's happening with the chord changes and the timing and the hits and all that stuff. So listening to those songs over and over and over again is a really great thing to do. Then what I do is I will either chart the song, a basic chart of the song, super just scratch chicken notes, and then I will just play the basic core of the song, like, okay, the chords are here, oh yeah, chorus goes here, oh yeah, double this chorus here, and I run down the set list like that. I might make little check marks like, this song's done, X, this song's not done, I need to keep working on this. And then I drill down to the individual little licks, and then the last thing I do is the solos, you know, if there's solos to learn. Because my thought is this: if I'm going to play on stage, I better know at least the chords. The solo, I might be able to fake the solo if I run out of time by the end of the gig. So doing things in order is an important thing to do. Yeah. That's a great question, in fact. Best cities to live, to play in bars as an intermediate level band. You know, the big ones: New York, LA, Nashville. For sure. 5:55. Nice, Scott. Scott, I got your message there, buddy. There's always a time for new things, and time is now. Trust in the process. That's right, brother. Trust in the process. Thank you, Scott. I got your message. Beautiful. Okay, best bands to play in Nashville, LA, New York. All places that won't allow you to play right now. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, anytime you can play music in front of anyone is a good thing. You as a person are growing and becoming more than you were playing by yourself. No pun intended. It's true. Playing by yourself is what you say. I got you, Brian. But it's true. Brian Copeland, thank you so much, brother, for the kind donation. Surfs up, my surfing guitar playing brother. Best kick in the butt was joining the band because I realized I had to play. Yeah, indeed. Okay, good. Okay, here we go. Greetings from Spain. I got your Udemy courses a year ago, but life happened. Now I can start. Is your GuitarSage offering different? What is your preferred platform to keep in touch? Thanks, my friend. Well, since they've done this whole censoring sweep, I really have lost the taste in my mouth for any sort of social interaction whatsoever on Twitter, Facebook, and like on all of them, honestly. I just don't like it. It's a terrible idea. Jack even said something today. He said it was a very dangerous thing to do. Anyhow, with all that being said, that's political and that charges you. You're probably on the wrong channel. So my thing is I just don't, I want to stay away from that. My preferred way of getting in touch with is the text that I give you guys. Mike, would you put that on the screen? If you would, that's a great way to get in touch with me right there, 833-744-0154. If you're in my courses, so if you're in the Udemy courses, you can leave questions there because I answer those. If you're in UGS, I answer those questions as well. If you're in UGS Pro, then I answer questions there as well. So those are my preferred ways. There's just so many different ways anymore that you can reach somebody. It's daunting, tiresome to keep up with it all. So I'm actually quite excited about hopefully all of these companies going away forever. I would love that, to where we could just talk again like real people. You know, back in my day, we'd call somebody on the phone and we'd say, "How are you doing today?" I need some advice. Can gigs, bands be managed with some other job? I'm passionate about both fields, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they're called weekend warriors. Yeah, you definitely can. You just play during the weekend. That's how it goes. That's what all bands are, unless you're famous, right? How can I pick single notes on a guitar with a pick? Rick, you need to be in the free course. Check that out. I'm playing Billie Jean in the wrong note string every time. I'm not looking at my strumming hand. Look at your strumming hand. Look at your strumming hand so you stop hitting the wrong notes, number one. Number two, Rick, I've got the medicine for what ails you, the pick rest. That's one thing that's going to help you a ton. And then you need to learn to strum. You need to learn how to pick right. YourGuitarSage.com/30, the third link below, will get you straight there, okay? Go there now, Rick, if you seriously want to become better. I promise you it will get you where you want to go. Hi, my question is that how to use a metronome. I tried I tried it, but I just can't really figure it out. Zoe, I've got videos for you on YouTube about this. Search Your GuitarSage metronome. If you're in Your GuitarSage, if you're in UGS, I've got a whole course on it, how to go about doing that, okay? It takes some getting used to, but watch that video, way more than I could talk about right now. It's probably a 15-minute video. So watch that video. Search Your GuitarSage metronome on YouTube, okay? I promise you. Also, how can I move my hand on the fretboard fast? I need to play the 9th fret on the 8th, on the high E, and suddenly the 1st fret all of a sudden. Rick, practice. The reason you can't do it right now is you haven't practiced enough. That's all. It's a gauntlet. It's a marathon. You'll get there when you've practiced enough. Music is the great equalizer. People say, I should have this already. No, you shouldn't. You haven't practiced enough. But I should have it. That's fine. You can keep saying that, but that's not the thing that determines that you're going to get there. Reality is the thing that's going to determine that. And you will fix that with practice. I can promise you. Not being ugly, I'm just being direct, you know, because that's what's going to get you there. I could powder your heinies, but that's not going to get you where you really want to go. Okay? Timothy, I'm a veteran myself, and I've heard a couple times veterans mentioned. So what is it exactly do you do for veterans? Timothy, find out. Go to YourGuitarSage.com/veterans. I have a master course that many of these folks are in. It's called the Unstoppable Guitar System. I created it back in 2012. Has over 1,000 videos in it now. We've had so many people go through this course. It absolutely changed their lives. And for veterans, I give it for free. Otherwise, it's $685. There are monthly versions of it for $5 and $19, but if you bought it outright, that's what it would cost. We have, I think, 9,000 people in there to date. The other courses, we've got a lot more people in, but like 9,000 people to date. In that particular course. In some of my other courses, I have 300,000 people. But that big course, we have that many people in there, and I'm giving it to you for free. It's YourGuitarSage.com/veterans. That's where you're going to get it, okay? Great stuff. Okay, good. Our questions asked on guitar maintenance answered by Greg or both. Jurgis, they're answered by me. But I don't think that you're going to stump me on that because most of it I know, I just don't do it. Does that make sense? I don't do my own guitar maintenance. I have an idea of how to do it. A lot of stuff I've done before, but I would still be able to answer that question. If you did get me a question that was too much, I'd go to my guy and I'd ask him for you, okay? Marine Mama got a 7-day timeout from YouTube. Oh man, we love Marine Mama. What's up with that, man? I tell you what's up with that. You censor somebody, you know what that means? You're scared. That's exactly what that means. Something only means one thing, you're scared. What would people be so darn scared that people are saying? Crazy. Does that work on international basis? I'm from India. That's why I need to know.
Texting, it does not.
Texting, it does not. Sorry, Rick. Okay, thank you, Mike, for keep me there. It does not work internationally. So the best place to get in touch with me would be that Udemy course then, Rick, if you're in there. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get to a couple more here, and then I like to get into the end if I can possibly do it. Just, I don't know, I'm weird like that. I like to have that sense of accomplishment. I want to learn an instrument. Which should I learn first, guitar or piano? Oh, God, I would learn piano first, to be honest with you. I love the guitar, but piano is going to be an easier introduction. Like, you can play chords and scales day one on the piano. You can't really with guitar, for the most part. There's some intricacies that you have to learn. Or why should I start guitar? Well, because it rocks, and you can bring a guitar with you everywhere. You can't bring a piano with you everywhere. Many reasons. Eric, can you check out my channel's house band called Hippies House Band and let me know what you think? I'm a small YouTube channel helping other small channels grow and get their music heard. Guitar player, that sort of thing, but there is no real rule. It's just, it's subjective. I wouldn't, get stuck in the weeds on that one. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Rick. So Rick understands this, but your culture is like that too, right? In India, it's like you guys can be direct but super kind too. Yeah. So I know you're not being ugly, he says. I feel that it's a part-time teacher myself in comp science, and sometimes it's okay to be a bit hard on students. If you care for them, right? You're not discouraging, you're encouraging them, right? You're saying, man, come on, you're better than this. Stop being mediocre. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I want a leader to do that to me, to get me to my next level. If that's not what you want, then you probably don't need to do it on your own, right? So thank you. It's good. It's for their own good. I practice hard, I promise. Good. I know you do, Rick. Okay, I find your course vital, and I am UGS member. Question, who do you recommend that you think complements the learning journey? Example, Andy or others? Oh, man, there's so many great teachers. I think Marty's great. Andy's great. I love Justin. They're all great. Beato, but he's different, but he's great. So many great players. Corey Congilio, RJ Ronquillo, Brett Papa. There's so many great players and great teachers And they all have something different to bring, so watch them all. I want to learn how to play scales. Do I have to learn the pentatonics first? It's a good idea. Yeah, indeed. Yes, yes. All right. Someone's triggered.
Probably get time for about one or two more here.
Yeah, I think this is it.
I'm fighting the internet.
Okay. How do you protect your ears when you're loud? Get yourself some good earplugs. My friends, that is all I have for you today, okay? That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. I know we went a little bit long, but playing with a band is a lot of fun. It's super good. You can play with other musicians. If you're afraid of playing with another band, play with one other musician. Dip your foot in the water. It's okay. If you want to do something even before that, get a looper and go get Robbie's course that we have 85% off for you. First link below. Do that. Get involved with more than just sitting there by yourself playing. You've got to stretch out. I'm talking to you specifically. You have to stretch out. You do. Okay? It'll make you a better player. All right, I'm out of here. See ya.